Most of us Christians, and I have to include myself here at least to some extent, we condemn modern sexual mores, especially when we are in a religious environment. However, in what we might call more secular situations, we tend to try to make our faith somehow compatible with those modern opinions. We do this especially where miracles in the Bible are concerned. We can easily say, we Christians believe in miracles. But that is a statement of identity and not of personal belief. We adopt this kind of attitude. Personally, I am a bit skeptical, especially with regards to the miracles of the Old Testament. It happened in the olden days, after all. People weren't as clever then as we are now, and they didn't have the science and the technology that we have. Besides, over the centuries, word of mouth can so easily amplify the simplest occurrence until it becomes a full-blown miracle. We can easily take that attitude with regards to the miracles of the Old Testament, but the New Testament is trickier because its writers intended it to be history and not myth. However, most of the miracles in the New Testament are miracles of healing. The blind see, the lame walk, the mentally ill become sane. Healing miracles happen inside of people. So we tend to write them off as psychosomatic in one way or another. As for the other miracles, for example, Lazarus could have been in a deep coma when he was presumed dead and buried in the tomb. In the account of the 5,000 people being fed with 5 loaves and 2 fishes, well, it could have started off as quite a small crowd and got more numerous in the telling, and so on. However, there are 2 miracles that cannot be explained away, and I must profess my belief in them. They are the virgin birth of Jesus Christ and the resurrection. Of course, God the Son could have become an embryo in the womb of the Virgin Mary, and if I don't believe he did, then I have no business standing up in church and professing my faith in the Incarnation. If we look at the miracle of the Incarnation from another point of view, it might help us to see how it fits a pattern of how God intervenes in human affairs. God's interventions in human affairs so often have come through women: Sarah, Hannah, Elizabeth, and often they result in the birth of an extraordinary man, Isaac, the prophet Samuel, John the Baptist. The miracle of the birth of Jesus fits into this pattern, and it makes sense that it happened through the power of the Holy Spirit. It also helps to exclude definitively the idea of Joseph as the father of Jesus. Saying that Joseph is the father of Jesus is one of the ways of evading the truth that Jesus is God as well as man. The Holy Spirit is the life giver. So at the Incarnation, the Spirit is the right divine person to be the giver of organic life. Remember that in the second verse of the entire Bible, the Spirit is mentioned by name, hovering over the waters at the start of creation. If you think of the Spirit as being junior, proceeding from the Son as well as the Father, then you'll have to think of the Son as more junior still, becoming incarnate by the power of the Spirit. And that adds up to a contradiction. The relationship between the members of the Trinity is one of equals, and making it into a hierarchy just does not work. Anyway, God became a man, and that is the subject of the next talk.